Good morning, third graders. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, and we're still in Unit 5, Week 1. We have 3 pages in our student interactive that we'll be working on today, page 460, page 463, and page 464. Again, we are going to begin on page 460 with vowel patterns. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. It says vowel patterns. A-U, A-W, A-L, A-U-G-H, and O-U-G-H can all spell the vowel sound you hear in the word saw. You hear that ah sound. Sometimes the letters A-L include the L sound, but sometimes the letter L is silent. Knowing sound spelling patterns can help you to read the words that have one or more syllables. So you're going to take the time after this video to take a look at this chart and notice the examples. We have examples of words with the A-U vowel pattern that makes the ah sound. Laundry, fault, Paul. We have words with the A-W making the ah sound. Jaw, law, and lawn. We have A-L vowel pattern words where you do hear the L sound. For example, in call, fall, meet balls, salt. And then we have examples of that same A-L vowel pattern, but you do not hear the L. The L is a silent letter, like in talk and walkers. Then we have words with A-U-G-H making the ah sound. Notice they both end in T. Caught and taught. And then we have a similar vowel pattern, O-U-G-H. Both of these words also end in T, thought and bought. So now it's your turn to do some work. It says to read each single syllable or multi-syllable word. Underline the letters that spell the vowel sound you hear in the word saw. So remember, we're looking for the ah sound, looking and listening. So, for example, in the word brought, I see O-U-G-H, brought, brought. I hear the ah sound, and I see O-U-G-H, which is one of our patterns in this chart. Go ahead and underline that pattern. You're going to do that on your own after this video, or you can pause it and do it now. And you're going to underline in each of those words the pattern that you see that makes the ah sound. Then you have high frequency words. You need to read these to yourself. They might be good ones for you to memorize how to read and spell. They're high frequency words because you need to practice them. Special and heavy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next page. I'd like you to scroll down, or I'm going to scroll down. You turn your page in your student interactive to page 463. Again, it's more practice with those vowel patterns. A-U, A-W, A-L, A-U-G-H, and O-U-G-H, they all make what sound? The ah sound. Sometimes you hear the L in A-L, and sometimes you do not. So your job is to read these words and then go ahead and sort them. So for example, the first word is fault. I see the A-U vowel team in the word fault. I'm going to go ahead and write it here. Make sure you're not writing too large because in these different rows, you do need to leave space to write more than one word. Again, you have practice for your high frequency words, special and heavy. Go ahead and write them there. Wow, you guys, we already worked through 2 pages. The next page might be a little more complex, but we're going to go ahead and go to page 464. Page 464. When you're working on this page, we're going to be working with adjectives. Remember, adjectives are describing words. So whenever you're describing something, the word you're using is an adjective. Let's read. It says to compare 2 people, places, groups, or things, you usually add er, to an adjective. These are called comparative adjectives. To compare 3 or more people, places, groups, or things, you usually add est. These are called superlative adjectives. So I'm going to repeat this for you. When you add er to an adjective, that's comparative. That's when you're only comparing 2 things, to people, to places, to groups. When you're comparing 3 or more, you add est, and that's considered a superlative adjective. Let's go ahead and look at some examples. So, the adjective, it says, it is hot outside today. What's the describing word in that sentence? Oh, outside is the noun, it's the thing, it's the place. Hot is describing it. So how can I turn hot into a comparative adjective where I am comparing only two things? Let's read. It says, it is hotter than it was yesterday. I've changed hot to hotter. I'm comparing today and yesterday, two things. How can I turn this into a superlative adjective? Well, I know that I added er to hot to make hotter. So if I want it to be superlative, I need to compare 3 or more things, at least 3 things. It could be places, people, or groups. And I need to add est. So I know my word will be hottest. Today is the hottest day this week. So I am comparing all of the days in the week. That's at least 3 or more. On your own, I want you to read the rest of these examples. I am going to point out, though, it says the tree is tall. Tall is my adjective. I can turn that into taller, comparing 2 things. I can turn that into tallest, comparing 3 or more. What about this last sentence? Tori's hair is long. Hair, that's the noun. It's being described with an adjective. The adjective is long. I can compare Tori's hair to Nina's hair. 2 things. Longer. And if I compare 3 or more, longest. All right. After you finish reading those examples on your own, your job is to edit this draft. You need to change each underlined adjective to its comparative or superlative form. I'm going to read this to you once so you can hear it. I'll do one example with you, and then the rest is for you to do on your own. Jaden and Derek are brothers. Jaden is the old brother. They ran a race with their friends. Jaden said he was fast than his brother. In fact, he said he was the faster of all their friends. When the race was over, he turned out to be the slow runner of everyone. Okay, I know some of you are laughing because you do every time we do this in class, because these examples are pretty simple. They don't sound right. Each of the underlined words, old, fast, faster, and slow, need to be changed to either be comparative, comparing 2 things with or superlative, comparing 3 things with est. Notice that faster is one of our underlined words, so that's already a comparative adjective. You need to turn it into a superlative adjective. This sentence where it says Jaden is the old brother, would I say older or oldest? I know that I'm reading about 2 brothers, Jaden and Derek. I'm comparing 2 things. So I'm not going to use the adjective oldest. I'm going to say older. Jaden is the older brother. He's the older brother out of the 2. Okay, you guys, I hope this video was helpful. You only have 3 pages to work on today. Again, that's page 460, page 463, and page 464. Please reach out to me if you need anything. I'll be available to talk to you throughout the day. I really miss you guys.